We're going to begin with our clearest picture yet of Americans' feelings on this coronavirus crisis. In a new CBS News poll, an overwhelming majority, 70%, say that the top priority should be slowing the spread, not getting the economy going. And even more say they would not be comfortable with public activities right now if the stay-at-home restrictions were lifted. Listen to these numbers. 71% said they would not be comfortable with going to a bar or a restaurant. 85% would not be comfortable getting on an airplane. Anthony?
Gail, most Americans are not happy with the country's response to the crisis so far. According to the poll, 57% say it's going badly. The poll also showed state and local officials are getting higher marks than the president, even as governors face some tough decisions. Mark Strassmann is in Atlanta. Mark, with Georgia set to reopen partially tomorrow, what's the feeling there?
Good morning, Anthony. Very divided here. The governor's decision here to reopen at least some businesses tomorrow in every state. The decision about when to reopen is up to the governor, and any decision is bound to be criticized by someone. But in Georgia's case, the Republican governor was second-guessed by the Republican president.
I happen to disagree with him.
President Trump minced no words about Georgia's plan to reopen part of its economy tomorrow.
Would I do that? No. I'd keep him a little longer. I want to protect people's lives. But I'm going to let him make his decision. But I told him I totally disagree.
But Governor Brian Kemp will push forward with his state's reopening. Some businesses have the green light if they obey social distancing policies.
Although I know one has the need to leapfrog over things, don't do that. Do it in a measured way.
Georgia fails to meet suggested federal guidelines for lifting restrictions, primarily a 14-day downward trajectory of new positive cases. Florida doesn't either, but some of their Gulf Coast beaches will also reopen as early as Friday.
We will do this safely, responsibly, and based on the data in our state.
Oklahoma also falls short of those suggested federal standards. But the state's governor announced businesses like hair salons and spas can open tomorrow.
We need the facts on the ground to drive a lot of our decision making.
Massachusetts has seen a worrying increase in COVID cases. Their businesses are staying closed. In Iowa, Tyson Foods suspended operations at a pork plant indefinitely. More than 180 COVID infections were linked to the facility.
We need to get a handle on how many people are infected. We need to get more testing here. That's critically important.
On Wednesday, Wisconsin also saw its largest daily jump in positive cases since the pandemic began. They're possibly tied to a cluster of infections at this Green Bay meatpacking plant. Nearly 150 people have got sick there.
Until the medical community tells us it's safe, it's just reckless and irresponsible to go back to business as usual.
Wisconsin COVID survivor Leah Bloomberg spent 9 days in a coma on a ventilator. She's still building back her strength and worries some states are reopening their economies prematurely.
If you open up and somebody is asymptomatic, they don't know they're a carrier, and it'll just spread like wildfire.
After President Trump's criticism, Georgia's Governor Kemp here defended himself by tweeting that his decision was guided by state public health officials. But other critics included Atlanta's mayor and hundreds of local business people who are drowning in debt. They all agreed it's too soon, too risky. Tony?
Mark, thank you very much. No easy options here, at least until we get a vaccine.